CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories.
This is a next weather alert from CBS News Miami.
Taking a live look outside, a few storms are trying to develop, but it is the extreme heat taking all the headlines on this weather alert day. Let's get right to next weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler with the steamy details.
Naja, weather records are dropping like flies this week. Temperatures are soaring out there, and that's why we have a next weather alert with a heated warning, excessive heat warning, which won't end until 7 o'clock this evening, and that is for all of South Florida. That includes the Keys as well. Temperatures into the mid to upper 90s, but the feels like already it's been up to 113 degrees, and that's the highest heat index on record in Miami. That has been hit today. You can see this since 11 o'clock this morning, 109, 110, and then 113 at 3 o'clock. That's what it feels like out there. So this is why it's so dangerous. For 3 days in a row now, we've had a feels like temperature above 109 degrees. That has never happened before. So that is a new record as well. We just continue to pile them up. So this is where the excessive heat warning is for all of South Florida. Feels like up to 113 for the mainland, but you get down in the Keys, it could be as high as 115 degrees down there. Right now, 92 degrees. This is the current temperature. We do have some storms that have been trying to develop out here, so some rain-cooled air has gotten in there, but our high so far has been 95 degrees, which ties the record of the date so far. So let's focus on this rain, because certainly those areas that are getting the rain are seeing some heavy rain. We have a flood advisory in effect until 5:30 for that little part around the Parkland area, same spot as yesterday, if you remember. So there has been about 2 to 3 inches of rain here so far. There's a lot of runoff, Parkland up to Mission Bay. Those are the areas to be careful with. We've seen as much as 3 inches in spots. That's going to be right around 441, and that's the area, but these storms are trying to kind of develop southward as well. Another area of showers trying to develop around Kendall, Homestead area, having a tough time out there because we have some Saharan dry air in the mid to upper levels, so that's what it's going to be battling. But showers and storms at least are showing up on our modeling this afternoon into this evening. If you get one of these showers, that will offer some relief, at least temporarily. And then as we head past the daytime heating, once the sun starts setting, they will be done. And then 1 p.m. on Wednesday, we'll start a little bit of development here. Again, that east-southeasterly flow continues to pull in low-level moisture, but the chance for storms is really low because dry air aloft. That will change as we head into the weekend. We're looking at some moisture getting in here with a tropical system, a disturbance. We'll see what that brings us if we can get those showers going. So rain chances will be low through Friday. Then this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, will bring them up just slightly. But these temperatures, 2 more days, Thursday and Saturday, we are expecting to at least tie the record high with this extreme heat. Out to the tropics, nothing that we are concerned with right now. We continue to watch these waves coming off of Africa. So far, so good. And that's thanks to, again, that dry Saharan dust and a lot of storm shear or wind shear out there. So that's why we're looking at that. Temperatures will top out in the low to mid 90s with just a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon.
All right, it is rough out there. Thank you, Cindy. The Miami-Dade Police, Fire, and Divers Unit have been working together in a recovery operation. It's about stolen vehicles from decades ago. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor joins us from the scene with the details.
Naja, police are saying that it was definitely stolen cars, the ones that were submerged in this lake, even way before the buildings that surround the area were created. Now, they're also saying that the team of divers were in the murky waters of this lake, which is located at Northwest 90th Avenue and 13th Terrace since Monday afternoon. Let's take you to some of the video that we got earlier on, where you can see the first car being pulled out of this lake just minutes after 10 a.m. Now, pulling out many vehicles like this one is a monumental job that entails bringing here a recovery tow truck this big. Initially, investigators thought these discoveries could be the answer to cold cases, meaning missing people who may have abruptly disappeared. And though that has not been ruled out, investigators are saying that so far these are stolen vehicles. And this was the second car they pulled out a couple of hours later. Let's take a listen to what Miami-Dade PIO Alvaro Zavaleta said, and then Mayor of City of Doral, Cristi Fraga.
The first vehicle they pulled out is a 2002 Altima, and we just got word from the Doral Police Department that it is confirmed stolen vehicle. And these are most likely the type of vehicles that we're going to find here dumped in this lake.
We are told that as many as 8 vehicles will probably be pulled out of this lake throughout the day. Coming up at 5 and 6 p.m., why investigators are so sure that they are stolen cars versus vehicles with missing people. In Doral, Ivan Taylor, CBS News, Miami.
Yvonne, thank you. We have new developments in the mounting legal challenges against former President Donald Trump. A grand jury in Fulton County, Georgia, has subpoenaed the former lieutenant governor. It's to testify about the former president and his Republican allies' alleged attempts to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia.
I'm going to certainly keep the details to myself just to protect the integrity of the investigation, but they're a very clear subpoena that was delivered to us late last week, and we will certainly answer the questions that they've got before us and answer their call to show up for the grand jury.
The Fulton County prosecutor says she plans to announce any indictments from her office before September 1st. There are also developments in the special counsel's case into alleged attempts to stop the certification of the election results. Yesterday, Trump's legal team argued the proposed protective order aimed at preventing public disclosure of evidence is too broad. Special counsel Jack Smith fired back. He urged the judge to reject the defense's proposed changes. The first Republican presidential primary debate is just over 2 weeks away. According to Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, he has met the qualification to take the national stage. In a tweet, he says his campaign passed the 40,000 unique donor threshold set by the Republican National Convention. Former Vice President Mike Pence has also qualified. If confirmed, they would join Governor Ron DeSantis, Chris Christie, and Nikki Haley, just to name a few. Former President Trump has not yet commented or committed to participating in the debate. The debate is scheduled for August 23rd. Florida's so-called anti-woke bills may be costing Florida tens of millions of dollars. Critics of the DeSantis administration say the new laws signed by Governor Ron DeSantis are openly hostile towards people of color, immigrants, women, and members of the LGBTQ+ community. The president of Visit Lauderdale tells us that 12 organizations have canceled events in Greater Fort Lauderdale since the legislative session in May. She says that amounts to more than $20 million in lost business.
We've also got meeting planners and event planners that are telling us they're not even sending requests for proposals to the state of Florida.
Ritter says the cancellations could lead to job losses. The Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau says it is monitoring developments in Florida's tourism industry. We have an update now on a story that we first brought you on CBS News Miami earlier this morning. Prosecutors asked a judge to sentence Canadian rapper Tory Lanez to 13 years in prison. He was convicted of shooting a hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion in the feet in 2020. Lanez was convicted of 3 felonies: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded unregistered firearm in the vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Lawyers for Lanez say he should only get probation and be released from jail to enter a residential substance abuse program. They plan to appeal his conviction. Well, imagine finding an iguana in your toilet. That's what happened to one South Florida couple. How they managed to get that leaping lizard out? When we come back, stay with us. Welcome back. A man in Naples is accused of flooding a hospital's emergency room after attacking a nurse. Authorities say Louis Suspesi became agitated while in a waiting room at North Collier Hospital over the weekend. Deputies say that he barged into the ER, pushed a patient and a nurse, took off his clothes, pulled a water pipe from the wall. He is facing several charges today. On the Health Watch, as a summer wave of COVID-19 hits the U.S., the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are seeing one variant dominate new infections. It is called EG.5. As of Friday, 17% of nationwide cases were estimated to be linked to the variant. Experts say the variant may be spreading so fast because of a, quote, slightly beneficial mutation that is helping it. EG.5 is a descendant of the strain XBB. This fall's COVID vaccines will guard against it. Only on CBS News Miami, a Hollywood couple never expected to lift their lid to their toilet to find an iguana. That is exactly what they say happened. Take a look. They don't even know how it got there. CBS News Miami's Larry Seward explains what to do if you find yourself in a similar situation.
Inside the Hollywood home surrounded by synthetic grass that owners hope iguanas avoid.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
One squatter in the toilet.
I'm pretty sure he's dead. His eyes are open and he's green.
Shook Crystal Collins.
I swear to God, if he jumps down, I will die.
Almost as much as her husband.
The sounds that came out of my husband were so funny, and we searched the cameras in our house to find out if we could get a soundbite of it, because it was very manly.
Crystal's husband grew up here. She spent 26 years in South Florida, but they've never had a lizard in their house until Friday.
That was not what I expected to see.
In the guest bathroom, Crystal's husband lifted the toilet seat and found this green iguana motionless.
We both looked at each other, we're like, what are we gonna do? I mean, I joke about burning the house down, but the reality is, like, how are we getting this out? Because neither one of us do lizards.
What the Collins did next is actually the right thing to do. According to an iguana trapper, you don't want the iguana roaming your house, so it's best to close the door and trap them where they are.
It's a big bunny rabbit. It's docile.
Iguana Control removes reptiles out homes from Key West to Melbourne, Florida. Usually it's because someone leaves open doors or windows. Sometimes they climb through rooftop pipes, which you can prevent by installing mesh wire covers. Once a month, they find iguanas getting in through sewers.
That's difficult to protect against. That needs to be free-flowing so that, of course, all the waste goes away. So you can't cap that or cover that or put a screen or anything like that. So that part you're exposed to.
In this case, the Collins text a friend who used a trash bag and his hand to pull out what seemed like a dead iguana.
He's not dead.
He's not dead! How is he dead?
Because none felt comfortable killing it, they released the iguana outside, away from the house. But if another reptile comes back...
Now we're getting close to that epidemic area. Now, yeah.
Who's that epidemic?
Well, it's close.
The Collins might move out too. In Hollywood, Larry Seward, CBS News, Miami.
Yikes. That's your Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami.